Okay, so okay, so I am someone making a video in the city of Sydney, in the country of Australia, watching other people making videos, but I was about to say so-called people making videos, and the plane is going over just as I say that, as if to say that is what I was about to say is the truth. Look, here we go. That fell off the side of the place, like that huge thing has fell off the side of the place, which was no doubt put off or taken off by the powers that be, or the possessed people, that's putting it nicely, that surround the house. Because I was just going to say, and that's why the plane went over just as I was about to say, that I live in the city of Sydney, in the country of Australia, and I am living in that city of Sydney in an area known as the inner west of Sydney, which comprises a reasonably large area composed of, like, I'm not sure what the actual radius would be, as they say, but it is essentially a total controlled area. It is literally a military army base pretending to be normal suburbs, normal streets, normal people. So they're like undercover cops. You know, they're like undercover cops, as I was told a little while ago. That means they're not wearing their cop uniform, they're wearing plain clothes, and that's essentially what you have in this area. Every person on the street, every civilian, every truck, every bus, every car, every resident in the house, all collaborative and all part of this military base. They're all aware of it, they all participate in it, they agree on it, they are disciples, followers of the God of this earth. And they essentially, plane going over, military plane going over, acknowledging what I'm saying. Here we go. That was I must say it quietly because I'm outside, but that was a military plane. And yes, they are military people out here on the street just as soon as I come out. See how they're actually playing on the road? That I'm not going to film them though, but of course, because they are energy machine beings, literally, I don't want to, I was about to say give them my energy, but unfortunately, as you can imagine, just by doing this, of course I am. And because they're energy machine beings, stealing energy in the moment for their survival, because they're survival machine beings, just as the internet is also the same. I was about to say that everything is part of the matrix. Everything is the same as my dead-end reality of living on a controlled military army base that is essentially like a negative or technical, some people might describe these things as like a it's like a dark belief system that everyone agrees on because everyone shares a similar mindset and a similar personality. Now, this is because my actual mind is transmitted to all that is around me and transmitted to all that is on the computer, the internet, the screen of any sort, or any form of technology. I'm just going to show it, but I'm taking a risk here. But look, I'm just saying, look, see, as I say it, the plane, the military plane is going overhead to acknowledge. See? Small plane. That's only a small plane. That's only a small plane. But, and the dog is barking opposite, but the mobile won't pick that up. You know, it's very difficult for me to explain it or to even show it. Not because it isn't as simple as what it probably really is, but because that is the game for me, is to put me into a state of where I'm not fully conscious of everything, and basically I'm not, even though I'm showing these things. But they are military planes being driven by possessed pilots or machine android beings. That's because if you want to take it from a spiritual standpoint, you can use different words, or from a religious standpoint even. But if you're taking it just from a practical, real level, the difference between a normal human being and an android being or artificial intelligence, that's basically what it is. So it's like two different types of human beings living in the same area, except that the human being is literally surrounded by and incredibly outnumbered by the android beings, because they, once they become aware that you're a human being and that they're artificial intelligence, they see the difference. Then it's like the spiritual, a spiritual kind of attack that you're not aware of will start taking place. And it takes place from early on. It's just that it may or may not be on a bigger scale. I mean, in other words, like, you will always probably be surrounded by possessed people or android beings or psychopathic people filled with the spirit of the God entity, which is essentially extreme narcissism or egocentric personality, which means that it's that being is all about them being God and the soul controlling force or being of everything and everyone that's around them. It's like that. It's like wanting to be a well, I suppose you could say it's the same as being like a dictator or is that the word, or you know, leaders that they're the planes going over, as I say that, acknowledging that the God entity is that, but I couldn't get to the door to show it. but you can see they're going over. But it's just that by the time I get to that door, being a bit slow, but actually because I'm filled with, even though I'm normally slow and depressed, when I make the video, I put out a lot of energy. I try to, because this is what's happening in my life and my reality, naturally that kind of fills you with, with the energy of anger, actually, which is really not what you're meant to be filled with, no, because as we've stated before, the human being, is frequency and vibration, and everything is frequency and vibration, coupled with energy. But frequency and vibration concentrate, because that just simply means at a spiritual or an emotional level, which is the same thing, you're either giving out positive energy or negative energy. You're either giving out a happy vibration or you're giving out an unhappy vibration. Unhappy vibration, we know what that is. It's anger, it's contempt, it's sadness, it's all the negative things that a human being finds distressful and very difficult to deal with. Happy vibration is whatever makes you feel good. We have a certain idea of what normal human beings have certain wants. Even though from the day you're born, these wants will combine around you to try to take these wants and needs from you. I'm just going to show the matrix around me in a subtle way. See, the plane's in front there. The car is there in front with its lights on. I'll just try to show it because it's got its lights on. So, can you see that? Show the tree because I don't want to be obvious, but the car is there waiting to pull out with its lights on. That's just directly opposite. This is what goes on day in and day out, but this is nothing what's taking place here now, because all the noise has stopped because it's nearly dark. It's the end of the day, and it's the end of the day, so it's nearly dark, so all the noise and the work that they can pretend to do around has to cease, because they make the rules. But of course, last night when I went down the road, I didn't film it because I don't take the mobile. Maybe I should, but it's just too much energy, and I never know what's going to be there, and I don't know if they will. But either way, I went down the road and it was like well after midnight, and of course all the streets where I was walking was blocked off with flashing lights and a big sign up, night road work being done. In other words, the military androids were like doing work, and it was really noisy too. Like basically it was like jackhammer work, planes going over as I say that, so that I actually was stopped from going down to the shop. I mean, I could have went past. They didn't physically stop me. That's right, they will let you go past, but they knew that I would have to endure that dreadful sound in my ears because I didn't bring anything to stuff in my ears. And they know that accumulative effect of this noise campaign, what the conspiracy so-called nut jobs call, when I say the so-called nut job conspiracy kind of theorist sites, or those that are targeted individuals, talk about the smear campaign. That means where they spread negative things about you all over, the area where you live or where you go. The noise campaign that they strategically place around you daily, and the sight program they place around you, where every car has got extra bright headlights in your eyes on high beam, on a city street where they have extra bright street lights. In other words, unnecessary, because those cars will put their headlights, the minute you look up from the pavement, you will be met with a bright light in your eye from the cars that are around. Even if it's a moving vehicle, or even if it's parked and stationary, they'll just turn those headlights on and sit in the car usually also with the engine running if you come past, so that you've got this continual barrage of sound, whether it's excessive or even not so excessive, but it's always there. So they're always drawing attention to themselves and always bombarding you with some sort of negative sight, sound, or, you know, whatever. And that is what the military plane is acknowledging that, see, going over. It's going to be dark. You know, see, that car is still there with its lights on. It hasn't pulled out. Can you see that? I don't know why that is there, but, you know, just diverging because I'm feeling trapped and watched, which is true. But you see, I just want to show those planes that shows you how much mind control there is. But most people are not going to realise that this is what happens to me daily, that even as I say something or as I think it, the matrix or the military planes, which is connected to my mind, it's just a total attack on a human being done covertly, because most people, if I go out there and say, look, as I'm saying that, and that plane is actually mocking and acknowledging that what I'm saying is true, but they're like, what can you do about it? You're on the military base, you're stuck there. Wherever you go on the streets around here, you will be met like last night at after midnight, and it was there till 2 o'clock because I stayed down there. That work stayed there so that I could not go to a particular shop, because I could have walked past it, but that would have meant enduring the excessive sound, and I'm like, I just don't want to, because I am actually mind controlled and not feeling, even though I'm making this video and sounding confident, in reality that rattles you. You can't endure it, you get sick of the sound. It's quiet now, so it's deceptive, but the planes are going over in acknowledgement. But like I say, they will, even if they can't hit you with the sound like right now, because if my vibration starts to rise in any way, this is what it comes down to. It's total mind control, it's total control of a human being's feelings and emotions. You know, and that's what it is. And I'm not going to go out for the planes anymore. I'm just going to try to concentrate on what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to do a music video review. I know I say that because that way when I do put the music video up, you know, I'm talking about that video. It's a music video review. But don't forget, all the music, everything that is around us is the matrix. Everything is the matrix. Everything is a part of this control system. See, the plane is telling me that that's true. Can you see what I'm saying? See, split second timing. Split second timing. See the houses in the background, they're reflected there, are all matrix houses. They're all populated by an android species. An android is simply an imitation human being. When I say imitation, I mean imitation because an android is a machine being. An android operates only on information and intellect, and is programmed literally for self-defense and survival only. They are literally military androids pretending to be real human beings in a given town or suburb, you know, in the cities. This could take place in non-cities too, but it would probably be less controlled, less intense, you know, because in a city you can use excessive traffic. You can have the planes going over, like as you can see, over my roof, and those planes follow me round. Like basically they don't just go over my roof. If I go down the road and if they don't have other things set up, usually it will be a combination of things. Usually it will be the traffic, the planes, the pedestrians, everything. But it will be done obviously for me and very intense for me, but it won't look intense from an outsider's point of view, particularly if you're part of it. You know, particularly if you are the android beings, if you are part of the military. You know, you don't have to wear a military uniform in a suburban suburb in a big city to wear that military uniform. In fact, you can't, because otherwise we would be well aware that one way or another you are being controlled and that you're being watched and that you're in a very, you know, that you are not in a random free suburb, which is what the illusion they want to give. Unless they come down and open up on you like they've done to me, where they don't mind that you see it. In fact, they want you to see it. They want you to feel suppressed. They want you to know that you're being surrounded and stalked and patrolled and limited, because it does limit you incredibly. Not just to the reality that I didn't go to the shop because I didn't want to have to go through the noise and walk through the military armed forces. Acknowledgement. Yeah, the sun's slow going down, strangely enough. I think there is sometimes I won't go into the time element, or because I don't fully understand it, but certainly, you know, human beings' mind, if you're mind controlled and if they're trying to manipulate your mind, they do set up situations where you know, they are trying to control you through your mind, but they're also, the plane is going over as I say that, but they're also trying to, well, basically mind control means they're trying to control you fully. They're trying to, you know, they're manipulating your senses, and they're trying to bring down your mind, body, and your spirit. That means how you, kind of like, I would say the spirit is kind of like your will to do things, your will to do what you want to do, that sort of thing, you know. But but at any rate, I'll just concentrate here on what I've been looking at as usual on the screen, or on the worldwide internet spider's web. And it's a spider web for a human being. The spider is in the centre, which is the God entity that controls the earth, or the spider's web, and the internet World Wide Web, because technology is part of that spider's web. There is the reality of the planes going over the military base where I live, which is a complete control system. But there's also the technical internet spider's web on the computer, which then controls your mind when you interact with it. It's like where you think you're interacting with things that aren't around you, and you think they're real, but they ain't. See, the plane is telling me that's true. As it goes over, I want to just show the last one. Look. They are military jets, those planes too. I don't know whether you can see that. They are actually legitimate military jets. Like, they're not even passenger planes. Some of those are jet passenger planes, or appear to be. But the fact that they're coming over and that they follow me everywhere, particularly if they can't get to you with their military patrol system, which they usually can. Usually it's all these things, but it's one after the other, so that you're never left with any peace. That's essentially how it works. They don't want you to have a moment's peace to where you feel like you're meant to feel. As a real person, you're meant to just be able to relax. And because some people can get a good vibration, even like myself, on your own, provided you're left in peace and not too hassled, and you're not plagued with negative thoughts about things that have happened. That's actually quite hard, but sometimes you can do that, and you're meant to do that too. But they design thoughts and memories and ideas that are negative so that you will even defeat yourself. That's if they can't defeat you by their system that they put around you, their stalking patrol system, their noise campaign, you know, their sight and sound deliberate suppression of you, so that you find life on a day-to-day basis intolerable, where you've always got lights in your eyes, you've always got negative sound waiting for you on the streets. Usually have it outside your house. If it wasn't like close to dark and past the legal times for making noise, I would have had noise here going all day. They have construction. They've always got work going on everywhere. They set it up strategically on the places where you go in the area, so that although it's a military base, the same as this internet spider's web, which is really the same as a control of your mind through the computer. And the plane is going over as I say that, acknowledging, wait on, oh dear, nearly fell over. Yeah, we're keeping track of those planes. I'll just pretend that I'm a plane watcher, because if anyone asks me, I'll say that I'm like filming planes, because, you know, of course, like I say, they actually are. This is a total mind control reality. I mean, I may as well say it. It's coming to me now. And unlike the card readers, the mystics, the spiritualists, those that are connected to the divine and will tell you the ultimate truth, all the card readers, all the anyone that informs you of anything on the computer, it's safe to say, and probably the computer is a totally controlled mechanism that has been set up by the God entity, alias Lucifer, alias this, alias that. In other words, what I'm saying is that this being presents itself. We're told that Lucifer is a seductive chameleon and essentially wants to have control over human beings and wants to show creation that it is the rightful God, the rightful one that should be held in high esteem and worshipped as well, you know, like it's like we've been told, this being you know, wanted to take the place of God at some point because of its feeling that it was not being given its true worship and whatever. I can't quite explain it, but it's like, as we've pointed this out before, look, it's essentially just where you know, it's a bit like the pupil wanting to you know, become greater than the master, shall we say. And this we hear of this, and that's what's promoted. Those trucks they're doing their usual that's like see, that's I'll just get back here, but those two are patrolling vehicles just right in front, and they've got a P, which is like my name, on the back. But they're just gonna see how they're not going anywhere, because there's no reason for them to be on the street, but see how they're just going to go down to the dead end there on this street. In other words, they're just driving down a street and then doing all these turns, and then they'll just come back down. That's just total patrolling vehicles. See, can you see that there? Look, see how it's backing up in front of me, like in my line of sight. I shouldn't be filming this really, but and they're flashing the lights at me, even though it's still light, strangely enough. It should be dark now, actually. Then we have a patroller on the other side, but that won't come out. So we have the dog walker. In Leichhardt, everyone walks a dog, pushes a pram, or you know, strolls and lurks around. In other words, they stand on the street waiting for you to come past, with the pretense of the mobile being used. But you know, like, I'm out here on the mobile because I'm filming all this, but those that are on the street, it's like an excuse to stand around and just stalk and patrol. But I just say that. But it's a dead end down there, but that one will just walk down to the dead end and then walk back. But it doesn't matter. But where did those trucks go? They seem to have disappeared. That's interesting. Where have they gone? See, they've actually, oh, I see, they're just stopped down the bottom of the street there, and they don't belong there, but they've just stopped down the bottom of the street. That's like a subtle patrol, control, stalking vehicles. It's not intense like when I go out, particularly of a night, but also in the daytime when I go just down to the corner, because then you're on the street where the shops and things are, and basically then they have a legitimate excuse to use the traffic and the vehicles as you know, a mind controlling system around you. They use every vehicle on the road makes abnormal noise for a normal vehicle. This you know because you know how normal vehicles operated before they decided to literally disturb you with sound, because sound is a vibration, as I was told, and everything is frequency and vibration, and I'm frequency and vibration. So when they make every vehicle excessively loud, or even if the cars deliberately make an aggressive noise as they go past you, it's only as they go past me on the street. They immediately stop all this noise, the same as if a fire engine or an ambulance or a police automobile goes past you with their sirens on. They go past you with their sirens on, and they also have all these incredibly bright flashing lights that are unbelievably bright, and too many of them. This was never how these vehicles normally would operate or did operate. this is because this is a total controlled area. Now, if every person on the street wasn't part of it, they would be like me. They would be complaining about lights in their eyes that are actually dangerous, to where as a pedestrian or a normal human being, you can't walk on the street and see where you're walking sometimes. It's a pity that the mobile can't pick up how low that plane was, because the mobile makes everything look small, whereas that is like quite low, that plane. And if I didn't know it was a patrolling military plane, and if it didn't make so much noise, I wouldn't mind looking at it. That's the funny thing about it. See, that's as a human being, sometimes they try, but of course, once you realise that it's a bit like people on the street. Even though you might not like always seeing people around you, if you don't think that they're deliberately trying to hassle you, they're deliberately stalking you intentionally, you know, it's not going to cause you mental disturbance. But to realise that you're literally being stalked by everyone around you, and there's no personal element in it as far as you're concerned, but for them it's very personal, because they have an obsessive controlling nature. You know, androids are obsessive, controlling. They're obsessive control freaks, you could say, that terminology that people will, that often they will project that too. I've had people over the years that have said, oh, so-and-so is a control freak. And the person that tells you that someone else is a control freak, they're the control freak. And this is the joke, or the reverse world reality that we live in, which we've talked about over the last few years, how it's a reverse world. Everything is turned around because Lucifer does that. The God entity of this world is a chameleon. That means that it will present itself in any form that it can. Any demeanour, will say or do anything, will make up the master of lies, use the truth as part of lies. We know this, and then they will tell you that you need to be aware that you are being mastered by a master of lies. So it just goes on and on, to where a human being can never find the real truth, or at least what is the essence of it all. But essentially, as I've said, all this, you know, if I watch if I even watch these things, they are literally telling you what you're thinking, and even advising you what you should do, because they know that that's what you want to do, and they know that that's how you think. So that way you think that they are part of your team. Yes, that's exactly right. They want you to think that they are part of your so-called team, your spirituality, or what you are. The androids want you to think that they are a real human being like you, and want to be part of what you are. That's the end time deception. That's what all this is about. That is what all this is about. I'm going to show the plane going over, acknowledging it. It's gone too slow. The poor little birds. Military truck just got me as soon as I come past, but I missed the plane. But there's, see how those two trucks are now gone back? Did I make a point of that? How they went just down to the end for no reason, and then waited for me to come out there and basically come past. You saw that they were the same two that I filmed that were lurking in front of me. I'm assuming I'm still filming, because I will say this, that on occasions, whenever I film the military androids too close up, I don't get it on film, even though I keep talking and I think I'm filming, but basically when I download it, it doesn't turn out. But if I just film them in the distance, to where I don't show any clear faces, it seems to be okay. I'm not sure why that is, but I guess they don't want individually for anyone to see, or for me to point out that they're not real human beings. On the internet spider's web, they don't overly care, because it's all about getting people in, getting real humans to believe in them and to trust them and to think that they are a real human being. So, and to convince you that they are connected to you. This is the end game thing here with most that are on the internet, especially if they're telling you the truth and they're downloading your thinking and telling the truth about it. I'm going to show that plane. Look, it's acknowledging. Can you see it? Is it here? I think it might be. Yep. There it is. I do hope they don't pull out that plant there, which they keep doing, and pulling things off the side of my place so that the whole place will bloody fall down. And I can't get it fixed, even though it's illegal for you know, a tenant like myself to be in a place where you have no stove, and where, you know, the roof of your place is completely exposed to the elements. Not here, but the roof up the stairs, you know, so, but it's the same thing, it's part of the same place, and it can, you know, but anyway, I don't know why I mentioned that, but that's just because they want you to be aware that they're controlling things, and that that you're dependent on them, and that, you know, it's basically it. And I'm just going to try to concentrate here. No more planes. I need someone on my shoulder to say, don't go running out to the planes, because... But I'm just showing you that they are military mind-controlling planes that are part of this area where they're using everything to affect your mind and show that they're on top of you. They're reading your mind. They're interpreting everything. They know what you're going to do at every second. That's why these readers, even the card readers, what they call tarot, they're like spiritual tarot card readers that can tell you everything about yourself and what's happening in your life, and even about people that you're connected to, particularly if you are dealing with one of their kind that is trying to control you. They will inform you of that, because they work one against the other. It's a game to where, as long as you are still connected to the God entity's matrix, or to it, in other words, to where you're still being confused and deceived in some way, or you're trusting the wrong things, the wrong people, the wrong readers, the wrong this, the wrong that. And the plane is going over as I say that, telling me that that's true, but they know that I realise it now. I'm closing that door completely, even though as it hits dark, if I'm still talking, you know, the planes, when they have a lot of lights on, that's another thing too. The planes have the flashing lights to where when you look at them, you've got those flickering lights, which is another form of mind control. Even low, some people might say, well, they have the lights on the plane so that the lights can show the plane where it's landing and where it's going, and so that other planes can see it. But no, this is not true. The flickering lights that go on and off are only designed to control my mind when I gaze up to the sky and I see the plane. And they know when you're going to do this. They know that if it's in your line of sight or your hearing, that and the plane is going over, coming over as I say that, but I'm not running out to get it. But as you can see, the frequency of the planes as my thoughts come, it's part of military mind control. It's part of Lucifer's military strategy against human beings. When I say military, they're merely the powers that be, the ones that serve either the powers that be, which are also serving Lucifer's matrix or Lucifer's earth. Lucifer is the God entity that is unseen, what you may or may not believe in, but it doesn't matter. The powers that be that control me and even your reality at a real level, you know, there's nothing, I mean, like at a physical level. That means like anyone that you adopt to have leader or operate on behalf of you in your area. You know, that's like you know, leaders of countries and etc. And this is how the world works anyway. There's always powers that be that that make the rules and you know, set up things around you. You know, it's just that sometimes, like in my case, I don't realise that, you know, the bus drivers are military operatives. I don't realise that all the bus drivers, plane going over as I say that all the bus drivers, everyone that's in this area, in the vehicles, there's the plane, just missed it. But there's a kind of lurking negative mechanical sound coming into my ears from a vehicle, but I can't even see where the vehicle is. It's probably coming from down the end, but even the vehicles that you can't see are making noises that are very negative, very, dare I say, I would actually say that they're almost like dark, ghost-like, demonic type noises that are coming from the vehicles everywhere. Even though they sound just like noisy, aggressive vehicles, you know, but they are actually representing something else. See how my sight, I just turned around and my sight went up to the sky, and see how there's a plane there? Can you see that? The mobile won't pick that up, but that's the mind control. See, at the sight and sound level. All I can say is that I can film stuff and say it. See how my sight went there and a car come in front of me? A patrolling vehicle? Doesn't belong here. It will double round and come back if I stay here. I'll tell you, these vehicles do not belong. What cars come down a dead-end street, then just turn round and come back? Can you see it? It's blinking its lights at me down there too, but that will not be picked up by the mobile. It's just going to stay down there and stalk and wait. It's not going to come up. Sometimes they just deliver, but I'm filming, so they're not going to come up. But that's what they do all over this suburb of Leichhardt, is all the cars and trucks too. You know, like it doesn't have to be it's all vehicles. Even sometimes big semi-trailers will pull up on the main road and stay there with their lights flashing and blinking. Just that's if they're really, they don't care. They actually break even the road rules because they know that no one else is seeing it except me, and they know that everyone is part of it, so they can get away with it in an area, which is kind of you know, what would you say? I don't know. But this is what happens to me daily. And it's pointless me complaining about it or even saying it. And the plane is about to come over as I say that. I can hear it going over, but the mobile won't pick that up. I can show it. If I can get to the door, they're saying, what can you do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing at all. See? Nothing you can do about it. I can hear demonic sounds everywhere around me from vehicles, even though the mobile won't pick that up, and that plane going over as well. I'm just trying to say that as I say things and as I think them, they send those planes over. But I can't do this much longer. I don't think I can even do this video. I was watching these videos just before I turned the mobile on, okay? I was watching all these videos. And what I am going to say is that I was watching this video. I'm just going to come away from the TV here and see, I've got blocked drains. So look, I've got blocked drains in my place. So they just advertised how this fella unblocked the drain. Did you see that? I can't prove that, but I've got blocked drains and I'm using like Drano, that same product that they just put on there because I wasn't aware of this. I just turned this on for the card reading video because I don't know what ads they're going to have, but I could show that I've got the Drano upstairs, and that's just like, see, that's trying to get into my mind. That's transhumanism, where they're using every single thing to get into my mind to combine with a real human. Plane is going over as I say that, but where is the plane? That's a good point. I can hear it. Oh, look at the two dogs over there on the house opposite, those two dogs. I want to go over, and the patrol truck is right in front of me there. Can you see? But look at those two dogs. I'm just going to go out. The patrol truck is in front, see? But look at those two dogs. I should like to film those two dogs. Oh, they're wagging their tail. Hello. Oh, I want to go over and film them, even though I am scared stiff. But I would like to go and actually film them. But see, there's the patrolling vehicle blocking my path, and I would like to. Oh, they're barking at me. They want. Oh, see, that's. Now I'm getting mind boggled completely. But see how the truck is parked right in front of me, and the dogs are aware of it. It's gone now. See how it just stopped in front? See how it's just stopped in front? Actually, oh, wait on. That fella is going into that house with the dogs, see? Oh, you wouldn't believe that. Plane going over, saying, yes, I'm piecing that together. Of course, the house opposite with the dogs, the fellow was talking to the stalking patrol vehicle in the centre of the road. I didn't see that, but I saw him go back in with the dogs waiting there. That's like I say, it's a total control system. Everyone is part of it on the street. That's just. Of course, I'm aware of it, but I didn't actually see that until. Never mind. Doesn't matter anyway. But this here, I watched this video just before, because it's quite up to date. In other words, like it's telling me, this card reader is telling me exactly what my mind is thinking at this moment and what I am thinking of in the future, or what I'm thinking of, in the close future, shall we say. Now, there's a lot of details to all of this too. I would say that card readers are from the dark side, but they are like at this end time, as the card reader told me itself, this same card reader told me a week ago, spirituality, or your abilities and even your intuition and your psychic abilities, which is the same thing, some are more advanced than others, and many are more advanced than me, because they're trying to combine with my mind transhumanism and take over my mind and adopt my mindset onto the computer, and even around me. The beings that are around me copy you if you're a real human, because they want to have the transhumanism, because they want to get the elixir of life. Because Lucifer and its species of human beings are artificially created, artificially conceived. They're not natural-born human beings. And the difference between that is that because they are androids, they cannot experience or put out any positive vibration. They do not believe or experience or like love in any form, because an android told me a few years ago that love is probably the highest vibration if it is combined with another life, real human being. Oh, these card readers get me in. That card looks kind of interesting, doesn't it, the way they did that? I rather like the way they do the card reading. It's like seeing your own thoughts relayed back to you in visual form, but also there is speaking, just like many android truth tellers, whether they be spiritual card readers, and as was pointed out by this very by the card readers, spirituality or your abilities can be used for dark or light. These serve Lucifer and work on the dark side. But like Lucifer, they pretend to be of light. This is the internet spider's web. This is the game that is played against just normal human beings like myself that are stuck in the middle of it, shall we say, and are not allowed to live a normal, or at least are kind of coerced and fooled and trapped by everyone and everything that's around you into not being able to live a normal life, or what you'd call a content life, to where your frequency and vibration is kind of balanced and should be sending out a pleasant, happy vibe, shall we say, because everything is frequency and vibration. So I can, like I say, I'm doing the talk here, talking about all of this, but while I'm running out to show those planes, my vibration is not high. While I'm doing all this, a lot of talk, at a real level, at the real level of this reality, my vibration is low. So as the android truth tellers will tell you themselves, it's no good even having information if you either can't act on it or your vibration which is basically everything, because low vibration of a human being means that the others, the artificial ones that are around, and the entire internet has full control over you then. They keep the dead dark internet and local spider's web, which is operated by the dark military forces, or the dark army, which is Lucifer's disciples and followers, and indeed its offspring, because you know, all that is created artificially or technically or in a laboratory, or where there is interference by technology in any way that deviates from natural love, connection, spiritual union, conception between two real, normal, natural, male, female human beings. Anything that deviates from that creates a different being, and it is always artificial in nature by comparison with what is natural, that's all. But either way, and the plane went over as I said that, but I'm not running out to get it because it's making me look silly, you know. Because unless you're experiencing it, and actually I try to show it, but in showing it, I would be better off just making the speeches like the demigods and everything that's on the internet. Everyone that's anything, or anyone that's talking on the internet, I'd be better off just talking and expressing it rather than actually trying to show it as well, because it kind of, even though it is showing the factual reality of what's happening by showing the planes going overhead as I say things, most people will see that as just silly and coincidence. They won't believe that those planes are really satanic military planes, dark android-controlled planes, and that everyone around that apparently just, yes, is apparently just around are really working for the dark side, and that even those that tell the truth are part of the dark internet spider's web. Truth will be Lucifer's greatest weapon once human beings start to wake up to truth, because then you will be looking for others that share that information about the truth, or that you're in a matrix, shall we say. But unfortunately, those that tell you that will only tell it as you discover it, so that then you believe that they are part of you and are a real human being, and that they can be trusted. See, truth, plane going over us will say that. Why is it not dark yet? It should be dark. It will be dark soon, but it's still light. Oh, of course, they changed the clocks. That's the thing. They changed the clocks. They changed the time on the clock. You know, openly, shall we say, in Sydney yesterday, where they just changed the times on the clock because we have that system going. That's just more confusion too. I don't know why, but that's probably why. I'm expecting it to be dark, but it's still light because they changed so it should be dark at this time normally, but they changed the time on the clock. I'm going to say that this is just where I think sometimes even the Lucifer's it's where sometimes yeah, it does feel a bit like that, but I'm not even watching this. I watched it before, but I can't remember it now. even though it was only 2 hours ago. But I was just going to say that while I was watching this video, this particular reader has a very pleasant voice and literally tells you everything that's going on in your mind and your life at the present time, and even what will probably happen. But strangely enough, their voice changed, which even though I've watched tons of these particular videos and tons of this particular individual tarot reader, the voice changed with interference, almost like made it disturbing. I don't know whether I can show this and whether it's still here, but I think that was indicating of some presence of the dark spirit coming out. But that's how I interpret it. But some people might say it's just a malfunction of the computer or of this particular one's technology. Of course, it's all technology, but technology, if you take it from, like I do now, where everything has a meaning for me, and if I feel that something or hear that something is demonic or dark or disturbing, like the sounds of the vehicles and what people say and their presence, their stalking, patrolling, dark presence, it is relevant to me because it's showing me that they're part of Lucifer's satanic spider's web matrix that is real but is also on the computer. The computer, of course, as we know, is real. This person that is reading the cards, you take to be a real human, spiritual human being, telling you the truth about the reality through the use of card reading. Some will explain it differently, but either way, they're like fortune tellers or those that are supposed to be in connection with what you would call the Most High. But in reality, most of them are in connection with the Most High darkness. See, the God of this world is the Most High dark being and the controlling force of this earth. You see, so that means that you know, they are connecting and saying that they are part of the Most High spiritual creation, but really they are part of the Most High dark creation that is earth. So they're pretending, they're the great pretenders, all of them, but also they believe it too, so it's not really pretend for them because they believe in the God entity of this earth as being the Most High being, and they want that being to be God. This is like the original story of the followers of Lucifer, you know, where they believed that that being should take the place of creation or God. And, you know, some might say, well, are they deceived? Well, they're not deceived. Some are, maybe originally, but not so much now, because if you are part of that creation and you are like the disciples or the followers and indeed the relatives, artificial intelligence, basically you do belong to that, you know, to that God. That is your God, you see. Whereas a human being is not a relative of Lucifer, whereas most human beings that I see around are relatives of Lucifer. So that is their God. So their belief system is true, but because they need humans for energy, these internet ones and all that are around me, they twist their God, Lucifer, into the God of Most High, so that they can basically get into your energy. And the transhumanism takes place if you are aware of the truth. If you weren't aware of the truth, I wouldn't be watching the truth tellers on the internet. I would be seduced by others of Lucifer's disciples. It just depends on where you're at and how you think and how much this matrix is being exposed to you. When they came down on me and exposed themselves to me, they probably hoped and assumed that I would interpret things differently to what I did. In other words, that I wouldn't be quite as clear on what's actually going on or the truth, to where I would be confused. And that's why they're intense with their mind control, their sight and sound control of my senses daily, because that way, you know, even though I know the truth, I'm still under mind control. I'm still confused. I'm still being at a visual and a sound level, which is all you have as a human being. You may know the truth, but if your sight and sound are being taken over or, you know, overwhelmed by, you know, what's real, because it is real. The planes going over are real. The traffic, the patrolling, controlling people, and the vehicles and the noise, which is sound, which is frequency and vibration, is all real. It affects your mind as a real human being. But either way, I've tried to explain it, but I'm not. I'm just going to try to show that the sound on this very seductive, very informative, and very so-called spiritual of the Most High tarot reader. But like I say, the plane is going over as I say that. The Most High spiritual tarot readers are really the Most High spiritual readers of the darkness. See, over my head, over the roof, as I say that, acknowledging that what I'm saying is true, because they know that I can see this now. Because the reason I see it is because I know that they're using my thoughts and my words through what's on the screen. If I didn't connect that up, like if I just said, oh, they're using, and there's symbolism going on here too, at this very moment, he just took that away, but there was symbolism showing allegiance to Lucifer there. There's a lot of symbolism. I have not noticed that before. Usually there's no symbolism in these readers, but you will get it in a lot of other fields on the internet and in different areas of this earth. You know, in other words, the different... it's all just entertainment, but basically everything is mind control disguised as entertainment, disguised as information, disguised even as truth. The truth is Lucifer's greatest weapon against my mind. Once you become aware of what the truth is, then it's like, what truth teller do you believe? What truth teller do you trust and think is a real human being like yourself? And the truth tellers will be speaking exactly what I'm saying. They will be affiliating themselves with normal, natural human beings. They will be, I've noticed when I watch these videos, telling you about the psychopathic nature of themselves or their android machine being mentality, because they are essentially android survival machine beings. You know, they're technological as opposed to natural, you could say. They're spiritual or high vibrational spirit versus low vibrational spirit, or even non-spirit, if you want to look at it from a human standpoint. But for all practical purposes, everyone looks spiritual, everyone looks natural, everyone looks similar. Everyone speaks similar because they read the human mind and interpret it and speak it out. Some speak it better than others. Some use it in different areas to coerce a human being into trusting and watching and following them. See, the plane's going over saying that, but I'm not explaining it well enough. But look at the plane, there we go, see? You know, just as I step out the door, it goes overhead, but that, I have to go there and I'm too slow. But you can see that they're going over as I say it. And I am now exhausted, and I haven't even filmed the music video that I was going to. But also I haven't shown how the voice changed on this, which I've noticed it once or twice before, but not a lot. I think it was, I'll just going to try to get it back here if I can. I'm sure that it was where the voice changed to where it became normal and pleasant and seductive into kind of dark technological monotone. It should still be here, but I don't know where it is. I was just watching the whole video before, and I think it was somewhere here, but I'm not sure. Having trouble. I will. I think I messed that up. I lost the whole thing. See, for some reason I messed that whole thing up. Perhaps they don't want me to show it. They probably don't, but at the same time, it's up to me to focus. That's right. That's the whole name of the game, is to stop me from focusing. I think I've got the wrong videos here. These are all artificial intelligence. All this is artificial intelligence, every bit of it. And it's all mind control. And it's basically possessed, satanic, artificially intelligent beings. If you want to put it at the true level, okay? And the plane is going over as I say that, acknowledging that what I'm saying is so. See? Can you see it? There we go, there's the plane. Too slow to get it going over the thing and not making enough noise, you know, but so I don't look as plausible as what I'm trying to look, but unfortunately that's just the reality. That the military planes are a lot quicker, and they're experts at this mind control and expert at controlling the local reality. Okay, I'm going to I try to pick what I think are the best in each field. And you know, you might ask why I watch the tarot readers. Well, I watched the tarot readers originally to find out, to clarify information about my interactions with other people, because they knew that I became aware that I was dealing with possessed people. And when they gave me accurate information about, individual possessed people, then naturally you watch it more and more. So you become then, yes, addicted to the truth being spoken by those that are part of not so much not truth, but they're not there to really serve or benefit you, but they will give you the truth so they appear to be a benefit to you. That's a tricky and rather clever game that Lucifer and its followers actually play against human beings at a personal level in your reality or in your life, and that is it's the plane is going over as I say that. So it's a car coming, patrolling car and patrolling. Why is it not dark? There's that car, see, pulling in, and one coming up, just that one that was lurking down the end of the street, and see how it's slowing up in front? It will pull up right in front of me. See, that's like an obvious patrol vehicle. See how it's just pulled up in front? Like, who just pulls up in the middle of the road for no reason? They do that everywhere where I am. It is very stressful. There's a car there too in front with the lights left on, which could pull out at any time. See, this is, and the ones coming out. See, they're coming out there, coming out in front, and that vehicle is parked in the middle of the road waiting for the others in the adjoining houses to come out and get in. That is all. So that's just showing you that the whole street and the community is part of the military. And they are. See, now it's pulling away. See how it just stopped in front for no reason, to stalk and patrol, to basically show me that they're on the street and controlling. And see that one there opposite, straight in front of my line of sight, getting out the car. And the plane, I just missed the plane going overhead, acknowledging that they are all, you could say they're all, they're Lucifer's legions of artificial intelligence disciples, pretending to be real human beings, pretending to, be life. When I say life, I mean like natural human beings. To me, natural born human beings, or those that are conceived naturally, or even if you probably live your life not trying to eliminate or bring down other people, in general, not consciously and not with no purpose. We're all, plane is going over as I'm saying this, we're all convinced or coerced into playing as Lucifer wants us to. In other words, doing things that we're not comfortable with, that we actually feel really bad and guilty about. The plane went over as I said that, but I was too slow to get out. Notice how as soon as I come out, won't come out, but someone is coming out in the house opposite. See how they just all, I know that doesn't look very obvious, but it's essentially a mind game that is played subtly in the local area, in this military base suburb called Leichhardt, which is essentially Lucifer's control suburb. But that's just only part of it. It is actually bigger than that, of course. That's just where they converge and have a total control system operating around me that looks like a normal suburb, even though wherever my sight and sound looks or is operating, in other words, my sight and my sound is always being consumed by those around me. And that isn't because I'm paranoid, it's because they are deliberately coming around me. And I suppose it is not surprising but disappointing that which I get attracted to and even addicted to, even on the screen, seducing me with the truth, with my own thoughts. Therefore, I'm like, this is so. I think that I am not sure if this is not sure if I can show how there's a presence or a plane is going over as I say that. I was about to say a dark presence that takes over the voice of the of this particular tarot reader during this video, and I am just wasting time here not filming this properly, not getting it. Oh, I've turned it off again. How did that happen? Oh, wait on. Maybe it's Oh, wait on, it's okay. I have actually got it here. The planes are going over thick and fast while I'm speaking, trying to distract me here. I just see, if it's gone, that means they've changed it, but either that or I've got the wrong spot. Let's concentrate here. I don't know what I'm trying to show, but to me it was just strange.
The interesting thing about this Seven of Swords, like that's not the sun, that's the moon up there. Okay, that's the full moon. You see how that is? This a crow, a raven?
Yeah, I see a few of those.
That joint is telling on him. Telling on him. God, like he's here. Yeah, I'm telling you.
He's here. So what's he tell? That's right. You know, that's right. It's like
Somebody knows this bullshit. Okay, let's just say it like that. Somebody knows some shit is bullshit. It's like nothing that they can do to tarnish your name. It could have got something to do with your work that they did for this
It certainly feels as though they have tarnished everything for me. But that's, you know, like, I suppose if the military android beings that are all around don't speak well of you, they already think that, so it matters to you because they try to affect you and control you and bring you down at an emotional level, but they're not talking to real humans, are they? Maybe. Or maybe, they're all over the street here in the house opposite, but my video is finished, I think. I think that the mobile has cut out. I think the mobile's cut out, so I can't show it. I think I'll... Wait on, hold on. I can't see the screen. Oh, something's...